Chris Picciurro, Teaching Tax Flow. One of the major changes with the One Big Beautiful Bill Act, as you know, we call it in Teaching Tax Flow OB3, is the no tax on overtime rule. Now, that we know that OB3 passed on July 4th, 2025, and the IRS is issuing some guidance on how that's going to be handled. The cool thing is this deduction is effective immediately. So starting in 2025 through 2028, individual taxpayers who receive qualified overtime compensation might be able to deduct that pay from their taxable income. And this is where things could get a little murky, get a little gray area. So the IRS, again, is issuing that guidance. Now, the amount of overtime that you can exclude from your taxable income, and that could be reported on a W-2. Interestingly enough, a 1099, which indicates someone would be a subcontractor. That maximum annual deduction is $12,500 or $25,000 for married filing joint taxpayers. Now, we often hear in the tax code that there are phase-outs. What a phase-out means is that once you get to a certain level of income, the ability to take the maximum deduction starts to dwindle and eventually phases out completely. So there is a deduction phase-out for the no tax on overtime. And those deduction phase-outs for taxpayers with modified adjusted gross income over $150,000, that's when the phase-out begins. $300,000 for married filing joint taxpayers. Now, this deduction is eligible for both itemizers and non-itemizers. So if you're someone that has overtime wages, you can take this deduction, even if you don't itemize your deduction, and take the standard deduction. You have to include your Social Security number when you take this deduction. And if you're married, you do have to file jointly. Now, employers and other payees are going to have the responsibility of reporting the overtime wages on W-2s, potentially 1099s, and the IRS is going to offer some transition relief in the tax year 2025 for taxpayers claiming the deduction and for employers and employers subject to new reporting requirements. So the IRS understands this is very brand new, and as the IRS comes out with new guidance, we will cover that in Teaching Tax Law. So make sure if you do earn overtime wages or pay in 2025, factor that into your tax projection and talk to your tax professional about that. Thanks for watching and have an awesome day.